What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations. I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner and 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also host the only online show in the world for fathers and dads. It's sponsored by Dove Men Care. It's also co-sponsored by Dad Central, Canada's national fatherhood organization, and I am the board chair for the Global Food and Drink Initiative, a multimedia not-for-profit that showcases Blacks in the diaspora that are doing their thing in food, drink, and travel. Not wine or drink and travel. Got to get that right. And we're broadcasting live on August 30th. It's still hot, hazy, and humid in Toronto. And but supposedly after tomorrow it's supposed to decrease a little bit, the humidity. But hey, we'll take what we can get, because in a few months, it's going to be the opposite. We are joined by Mr. Ryan Oneil Knight. What is going on?
Good day. I'm excited about today's conversation. Good to see you as always. I hope your weekend was as vibrant and relaxing as mine.
Yeah, you watched ziplining. You didn't go.
It was exciting to see the kids having so much excitement. So, for those that don't know me, my name is Ryan Knight. I'm one of the co-founders of the Afro-Caribbean Business Network, and also an entrepreneur myself. I run a company called Detailing Nights. So we provide mobile waterless car cleaning, come into your house or your office to clean your car without using water, and eco-friendly plant-based products. Literally, today is the last day to get a call with me if your child is looking for a job and would like to work while they're at school or on the weekends. We're doing our final interviews today and tomorrow, but today is we have to decide by tomorrow. So please reach out, send me an email, and I'll touch base with them. And also with the Afro-Caribbean Business Network, we are part of the Black ecosystem. So if you're an entrepreneur, stay tuned to I believe the great work that's going to be coming out to support your businesses. So more to come as things kind of finalize. I know we're in the midst of this election, which is why I'm excited to chat today, because I'm curious who's running and what do they stand for. So
it's going to be interesting. So I did joke with Ryan a bit. So yesterday, him and his family went ziplining. But remember, I said he watched. So the kids went ziplining. Ryan said, I'll pass.
Hey, listen, I wasn't ready for the big zip. So, but it did look like a lot of fun. And my daughter Jasmine, my son Christian, and some of our cousins, they came. So it was exciting to, just get them out in the open space and strapped in and up high. The kids section was higher than I was expecting, but it was good.
Wonderful. That's good. What else did you do over the weekend?
I feel like Saturday we didn't. Oh, so Umoja was on Saturday. So my wife that runs Ebony Occasions, the Afrocentric greeting card company. She was part of a pop-up downtown Toronto done by Brittany, and it was called the Emoja Collective. So we got to go down on Saturday, support some of the vendors, and then also Sunday we popped in to do a bit more shopping. So yeah, it was exciting to see, a bit more pop-ups happening. So I'll be able to keep tabs because my wife likes to go. She was hoping to do more pop-ups. Of course, the pandemic uprooted that. So once they're getting started, we're going to be participating in a lot of them. So looking forward to that.
Wonderful. This is good.
And
Good.
so how was your shopping experience at the Black-owned Toronto store?
Didn't make it. No, Saturday I was pulled into a number of clubhouse conversations with my mentor, Mario Armstrong. And he was promoting his third intake of his sponsorship course. So I saw that he was having them. So I said, he's my mentor. I'm going to do whatever I can to support him. So he had about 2 over the weekend. Did he have 3 or 4 clubhouse sessions?
Oh, wow.
And he talked about different aspects of advertising, and I'm a sponsorship, and he was inviting people live to come and ask questions, and he was giving advice live, free, no charge, nada.
Yes.
And actually at the beginning of one of them, there was for people who don't know Clubhouse is a social audio app. So you go in and it's all audio. And in one of the rooms, he had about 30, 35 people there, and he was inviting people to ask questions, and no one was coming up. And he goes, Dr. Vibe, I don't understand what's going on. I'm giving a free bank. I got the credibility. They look at my bio and say, Mario, relax, no problem. First of all, sponsorship is a foreign idea to most people.
Right.
Especially if you're an entrepreneur, you're not thinking about sponsorship. You're just thinking about getting by.
You're thinking that's for athletes. Right? Yeah.
Exactly. They think athletes and all that. But so surely we got people up, and Mario is so amazing at giving people clarity and transformation. And a lot of times someone who comes up to the platform and speaks, he'll lay out the whole thing that they need to do high level. Like he is promoting his course, which gives you a much deeper dive. But the stuff, and even just in the conversations, you just pick up so much from other people. And he turned me on to a really interesting report. Let me just see. It's a really powerful report. Oh, the state of user-generated content 2021. And it's an incredible content breaking down what advertisers are looking for sponsorship, etc. One of the things that came out that he did share is if you're into marketing and promotions and you're putting on events, you strongly should have hybrid events. Hybrid events are here to stay.
Gotcha. Right.
Big time. And another fallacy, you don't have to have a large amount of followers to get sponsorship. You don't. A lot of people think you got to have hundreds and thousands of followers. No, it's the engagement that is key. Engagement and alignment with brands is really, really important. Like, your son, I did take his course, and he's mentoring me personally. So I'm getting it downloaded, and him and I keep in contact at least 2 to 3 times a week. He always wants to know my progress and what I'm doing, etc. And he's saying, okay, this is good. Oh, maybe you should look at that. Again, one of the things he taught me is the use of video messaging.
I love adding that now into our emails. When you introduced me to that, I was like, that's next level.
Yeah, that's so powerful. So if anything, folks, if you want to make yourself stand out in a positive way, start doing video messaging.
Yes.
Sending like 1 or 2 minutes. And for me, as you see, I'm used to doing the visual thing. I can get a message off so much quicker visually than I can email. It's so much easier. So, and I just want to say, hey, people, we're broadcasting on various platforms. We're on the ACBN Facebook platform. We're on the Dr. Vibe Facebook platform. We're on the Dr. Vibe Show video YouTube platform. We're broadcasting on my Twitter feed. We're broadcasting on my Twitch feed. We're also on Ryan's YouTube.
Yes.
So we are on about 6 different platforms. So when we're broadcasting live on replay, you can catch this stuff on ACBN Facebook page, Dr. Vibe Show Facebook page, Dr. Vibe Show YouTube page, and Ryan's personal YouTube page. So we have expanded the distribution channels. So number of different places and a number of people on today. So thank you so much. And good morning, Make It Happen show. I like that. Need to know about Make It Happen show. Okay. All right. Well, yes, there is an election going on, folks. For those who notice, for those who care.
So do you know who your candidate is? Right. So I wanted
a good question.
So I know we were kind of brainstorming. Is it okay if I read the candidates that I have and then we can pick random ones to go deeper into?
Whatever. You're the media star, so I'm following your lead.
Okay, so I want to read it only because I got this email from Operation Black Vote. So this was sent, let's see, August 10th. So again, there might be more Black candidates.
I have a whole pile of a list.
Yeah,
I have a large list.
So the list I have talks of Adrian Curry from the Green Party, Ahmad Hussein from the Liberal Party, Anime Paul from the Green Party, Bouker Tael from the Conservative Party, Camille Esther Garan from the NDP, Carmen Wilson from the Conservative Party, Shante White from the Green Party, Durka Prout from the NDP, Gutahan Shali from the Liberal Party, Greg Fergus from the Liberals, Habiba Muhammad from Liberal, Hawa Mir from NDP, Huda Mukbil from NDP, Jermaine Chambers from Conservative, Jonas Badu from Liberal, Leslie Lewis from Conservative, Lisa Marie Wilson from Liberal, Marcia Ian from Liberal, Matthew Green from NDP, Michael Couteau from Liberal, Michelle Spencer from NDP, Paul Taylor from NDP, Rena Paul Coley from Liberal, Shailene Pan from NDP, and two more, Shaula Abula from Conservative, and Tunde Obasan from Conservative. So this is a list of Black candidates running across Canada that I found, and
I've got a huge list. So as Ryan is reading, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to see. We're going to use this. So if I'm not being rude by not looking at the screen directly because I am using.
Yeah, same. I'm going to be researching too, so no worries.
We're not being rude, folks. But I'm going to. I'm just in the next probably minute or so. I'll be able to give you because the list that Ryan gave you is very small compared to the one I have. So let me just. Okay. And okay, so let's do this. Come over here. All right. Okay, so if things are right here, okay, so we should be able to share screen.
Cool.
Where? Okay, here we go.
Solid.
So we've got, I'm going to see if I can increase, because some people may be visually challenged. So I'm going to increase the font if my computer behaves, which it's not. So if you can see this, okay, let me just, it's not letting me increase the screen font. Okay. So this is what we're just going to go with today. So this is a list I have. So I've got Ahmad Hussein, Marcy, and Anna Marie Paul. Now these are incumbents. Now Anna Marie Paul does not have a seat.
Technically, right?
Again. Yes.
Yeah.
So these are the top 6. There are ones that are running again. Here are all the new people.
Wow. You see that? Okay.
So you have Quebec. The majority are in Quebec. In Ontario, you have a few in Manitoba, one in Alberta, and you got some more again these are not in province set into the provinces, but this is the complete list that's up to date to about a few days ago. So that is quite a list.
So at a glance, who on the list do you know personally? Like that you've had a conversation
I don't
with?
know personally, but I've had conversations with Ahmed Hussein,
Okay.
Marcy, and I met over 20 years ago.
Okay.
I met Marcy before she became a big star on Canada AM. That's how far back.
Right. Yes.
And so here's a little trivia for people who are old enough. People may not know this or not, but at one time, Marcy Ian was dating Canadian hip hop star Maestro Fresh West.
Ah, okay.
So that's a whole other conversation. I've interviewed Ahmad Hussein. I have interviewed Matthew Green. I have interviewed Greg Fergus. Other people on this list.
So for me, speaking to Ahmad Hussein, I've just seen him in events. Marcy Ian, I've never met. Matthew Green, I've had a conversation with. Ruby Sahota, I've had I guess she wouldn't. She's probably not on this list. But yeah, I've spoken with her. Jermaine Chambers, I've spoken with him. Paul Taylor, I've been to the AGM that they do for the food bank. But who else? I've never met anybody else.
I knew Michael Couture before he got into politics.
Right. Michael Couture, when he was in Provincial,
yes.
I met him.
I met him during the Provincial, when his time in Provincial politics, when he was first starting out in Provincial politics. But everyone else, don't know them.
Which is strange. So I've had a conversation with Daniela Johnson, but that was when she was running in Brampton, and now she's at York. So York Simcoe, where's that? Downtown Toronto? Or no?
Yes.
Yeah. That area?
No. Not sure.
Actually, yeah, that's probably more a bit north. I'd have to look that up. But nobody else. So that's where. So we feel, and Dr. Vibe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because we don't know a lot of the candidates. We felt we should research and see how they show up online. So we're gonna pick some random ones and see how they're representing themselves online.
Okay, so this is totally random. We're not targeting anybody. So Ryan, pick a name and let's see what we find out online.
Oh dear, Carmen Wilson.
Carmen. What party?
Conservative, running in Scarborough Guildwood.
Actually, that's close to my parents' writing, if not my parents. No, it's close. It's not their writing.
Hold on, I'm going to put it up to know if it's a woman.
Carmen Wilson.
Let's see.
Oh, well, she doesn't have her own website. That I can tell you.
Unacceptable. Oh, wait. I think I found something. CarmenWilson.ca.
Okay.
Try that one. Yep, there she is. Secure the future.
Okay. Why am I not fun? Why my browser must be interesting. CarmenWilson.ca. Like I'm doing now. Again, browsers are different.
How are you spelling Carmen? CARMEN.
Yeah, Wilson.ca. Like I'm using a browser, DuckDuckGo browser. Her name is not. I put CarmenWilson.ca. Nothing's coming up. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit out to lunch this morning, folks.
Yeah, I'll say her
okay, hold on. Let me see.
Pretty solid. She's got Instagram connected.
Rebecca Molly Jack.
Oh, it's not.
Rebecca Molly Jack.
Oh, that's
I have CarmenWilson.ca. I'm getting this site can't be reached.
Oh dear. Here, let me see if I can pull it up on this computer.
Well, if you want, you can copy the link and paste it in our private chat, and I'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'll put it in.
But see, now this is where you got to have your web presence because you got to check because Ryan's finding it, I'm not. Okay, so let's do this.
See if that goes through.
So this is why we're having some fun with this, folks. Right?
And hey, this is what because when people see your name,
here we go.
This is what they're gonna do.
We've got her now.
Yeah, they're just gonna look. You can't control people's experiences.
Okay, there we go. Take action. Scarborough Guildwood, Miss Wilson, sign up and stay up to date with our campaign. Nice. got a picture of her, can hardly read. Like the boxes underneath this sign on and stay up. Volunteer today, meet Carmen. Okay. She's placing a little bit of her story. Join on Instagram, news and releases.
See, this is where I have a bit of an issue because the Instagram is all about O'Toole. Like if you scroll down and it has like the last post that she's done, it's like, where's the post about her? They should be.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Or is that? Oh, they're actually pulling from O'Toole's Instagram. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, that should be her Instagram. But again, everybody has their own plan. So actually, in the chat, if people wanted to pick a candidate too, we'll try and pull it up. But Dr. Vi, you want me to pick the next one, or you want to pick the next one?
No, you're on fire here. I don't like. See, you're not finding out. Like, sure, she, of course, a webpage, but she should have her own Instagram.
That's exactly, yeah. Pulling from O'Toole's into her website. It's like you don't find out anything about what she's doing, right?
Yeah, but again, maybe it's on her webpage. So let's go. I'm gonna just go back to her webpage quickly, and from Georgetown College and licensing to the mortgage agent, licensure and okay, she is proceeding. Okay, that gives me a little bit. There's a picture of her. There's only one picture of her in any sort of community involvement. It's her. I can put it up on screen
section, right?
Yeah, that's it. Very little about her, very little about what does she believe in. It's all to the party. All to the least. So yeah, that's the only picture outside of the one on top.
Yeah. Her Facebook is a bit better, although there's literally only 2 posts on it.
Again, yeah.
They could do better than that. Oh, wait, here we go. It was just loading. Okay. Her Facebook is a lot better. I would say she's showing herself campaigning. So those are the images that they should pull into her website.
Yes.
Because it's showing her on the trail and talking to people. Yeah, the Instagram for O'Toole is like, but yeah.
Okay, so so we got some comments. So let's go back to here. So, good morning, Alethea. Greg for federal campaign. Greg, former guest on the show.
Hey, Greg. Yes, Greg is we have to get him back on.
Yeah, but he does make a good point. I agree with him. Federal campaigns are not about the individual people, but rather to highlight the leaders.
And I've heard that a lot, and I agree in the overarching macro level political game. And I joke about it all the time. Once you choose a party, you're absorbing all of that party's political campaigns and their platform. Although at the door, they're the ones that are going to be talking to the person. So at a micro level, that candidate still has to bring in as best they can, either secure the votes that they have already or bring people over that are on the fence. So a person that sees O'Toole and Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh and Anna Marie Paul, they either have already made up their mind, so you can't really do anything, or they're on the fence. So how do you get a person onto your side off the fence? That's the candidate. So if they go to the site and it's only about the leader, they can't put that personal touch. Because listen, one of the few people that I know that's currently running is Michael Couteau. If he was running in my ward or my riding, I would vote for him because I've met him. He's supported things that we've done. I like the guy. So even though I might not fall in line with all the stuff that Trudeau does and the Liberal Party in general, because I've had a relationship with Michael Couteau, I would come off the fence more to his side.
I appreciate what you're saying. I think, is that the majority opinion of a voter, or is that the minority opinion of voters?
But because the people on the fence are the minority too, right? I don't think there's a lot of people on the fence. It's like we're in a stage where people are locked in to their party. So that's where, for those that it's a very pivotal. And I haven't seen the statistics to say how many people are on the fence and what's the swing vote kind of thing. But it's very important to give people a reason to vote for your party, especially if they're still deciding. So I think that's the role that the candidates play and why they have to have such a, like grassroots level connection with the community, because now the people know them and they can say, okay, at least they will represent what we stand for in Scarborough, Guildwood, or wherever at Parliament Hill. And that's one thing with like Jermaine Chambers here in Brampton. I think he's the only Black candidate in Brampton out of all the candidates. So now he would be the only person that could possibly represent Black issues. So I might not agree with all the party platforms on the conservative side, but because I know him, I've been to his events, he's very active, he's in the mayor's advisory group. So I have a bit of a relationship with the man to say, hey, I can trust this guy and I'll vote for him, even though I might not fully be on side with the Conservative Party. But that is kind of an example that I'm using, right?
Okay. Well, just before going any further, good morning, Alethea. Thank you so much for joining in. George is saying here there is an OPA day running as an independent in Scarborough, Guildwood. I do not know what OPA means. So if
is that the person's name?
George? No, OPA. I don't know what an OPA day. So if you can tell me what OPA is all about, because I don't know that term. I'm not City Pulse. I'm not everywhere and know everything. Greg is saying it's not super common that the local candidate's personal appeal can lead to their election regardless of party.
And that's kind of where I fall, is that they do have some influence. And again, totally agree that the party leader kind of leads the charge and most of the votes come through that. But they should be able to pull in votes. And why are they being why are they being nominated if they do not have any pull in their riding,
Interesting. So,
because hey, look at Marcy Ian. She brought her media superpowers to that because who else could have beat Anna Mae Paul? Like, Anna Mae is the leader of a party and really should have that firepower to win a seat, but then Marcia Ian brought a bazooka and said, listen, you don't know, you're dealing with the Canadian Oprah here. And she won. So that is, I feel, came right down to the candidate and said, hey, she can get it across the finish line. And again, of course, the previous finance minister was liberal, so she did have that going for her too. But yeah, not just anybody can just win the seat going up against another party leader.
So George is saying, okay, OPA, the OPA, she is from Trinidad, which is great, but I don't know what OPA means. We need to know what you have that acronym OPA. I don't know what it means. So you got to help me out. You got to help us out.
Yeah, I was curious if that was the person's name.
So do you want to go to break, or do you want to do a online inventory of another candidate?
Let's do one more.
Okay, so since we did a conservative, let's go either liberal, NDP.
Yeah. I think that's her name. Opa Day.
Okay.
In Scarborough, Guildwood. Endorsing Opa Day. Yeah. So it is the candidate's name.
Okay.
But she's running as an independent.
Okay. Thank you, George, for bringing that up. Okay, Greg has another comment here. The main part of any analysis of Black candidates in the federal election is this: are Black candidates running in winnable ridings, or are they simply cannon fodder in places where they stand little or no chance of electoral success? Excellent question.
That question is deep, Greg. Pull him on stage. But it's deep because, hey, listen, I'm seeing Jermaine running in Brampton. And so is he running in a ward that is winnable? If you look at the statistics, there are a lot of Black residents in Western Brampton, but then he's going up against an incumbent. So do the Conservatives put people in places that are from the Black community just to say that we have Black candidates? Or I mean, and again, I would think no candidate would feel they're in a riding they can't win. Like, but then I guess that question or that comment is more towards the macro level. Or is the party just putting people there so that they have a face? I wouldn't subscribe to that. No, I think that takes a lot of effort to nominate a candidate just to show face, and maybe that's just me.
It's that wonderful game called politics.
Yes, I'm a baby in this space, man. I'm learning.
Right? It's that wonderful game called politics. Okay, George is saying we should interview Ms. Opa because she is a very interesting and articulate lady. Do you have contact information for her? I guess we could look it up online.
Yeah, well, I'm seeing her website's here.
Okay, before we get to Opa, I feel like we're at some Opa, like Oktoberfest.
Yes.
Give me another candidate.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go with random selector.
Oh, look! We have a comment here. Look at this. You're being corrected. Danielle Dowdy, who I know, I have met, and I know a wonderful lady. Jermaine Clark isn't the only Black candidate in Brampton. There's also Gail Bannister Clark running in Brampton East, NDP.
Thank you, Danielle, for the correction. I have not heard that name, so I'm going to look it up. Let's see who Gail...
Okay, we still got to give me another name while you're looking up. Give me another name from another party so we can do an online audit.
Listen, we just got a name, Gail Bannister Clark.
Yeah, but okay, sorry. Well,
I don't know. You want to use that one, or you want to?
No. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Miss Dowdy speaks. Bannister.
All right. I'm seeing she does have a LinkedIn profile.
Okay, so let's just see what I get from my search. Okay, Canada's in. Now I have a feeling this could be the same sort of website as you and I talked about before we went live. Yep.
I don't see a website though. There's a website?
There is. I'm going to show you what the website looks like. And it was carbon copy of the NDP candidate we looked at before we went live.
Okay.
So Gail Brampton East.
Right.
So this is just
feature image is not her.
This is like a landing page. That's it. And get in touch with her. But for me, this is just me. If I'm looking, most people are going to look you up online. This is the first register, like the first thing you see in the list of websites. I don't know what she looks like.
Right. And even when you scroll down, so above the fold, it's not looking like it's her campaign. And then when you scroll down again, there's nothing about, everything says Jagmeet. Or Jagmeet, sorry.
So the NDP is probably taking the approach which Greg has said, that pushing the leader first and the leader first and the candidate second.
Well, and this also reinforces what he just said, and I tried to defend, and now he's making my comments look very, Greg's point is being made right there, because that just looks like you're putting a candidate into a riding to run. But even, okay, the website's one thing. I'm on her LinkedIn. It doesn't talk anything about her running for NDP.
Not good.
So is this like a serious campaign right now? And this is just us researching and seeing what we find. Like, this is what people are going to do. So on her Twitter, it's in...
I was just pulling up her Twitter page, and Danielle, thank you so much for giving the link for her Twitter page. We're going to put it up live right now.
Right.
So I see, and this is where a little bit of my concern is saying right across party board that people are lazy, right? And on top of it, this is an election during COVID. Even tired, they want things easy for them to find. As I said, I want to put your name in the search engine. First thing, your website should be the first thing, just in my opinion. So I'm not seeing what this candidate looks like. Okay, Am I going to dig deeper? Don't know. But it'll be nice if the first thing you go to gives you everything. Just a thought.
And this is where, like, I'm not seeing the activity. Okay, she signed. This was August 28th. She signed a petition, but I'm not seeing a lot about what she's doing.
Well, okay, so I do see here August 28th. There's a post by her. So I'm gonna I would do this for any candidate. How often are you posting yourself, the candidates, right? So I'm looking here. So there's a post from her here on August 28th. Okay, when's the next post before that? August 20th. So she's posting every day. It looks like, well, at least I'm seeing 27th. Okay.
Yes, I'm seeing good activity.
Yeah. So there's her timeline is being populated, whether it's by her or she's retweeting stuff.
Right.
Good stuff. The only concern I have is more presence on your website. I don't know. I had to go to Twitter to, like I said, how many people are going to go to Twitter first versus your website? Just a thought. Like, even in marketing, your website should be your home. That's where everything should be, right? Because I don't remember on the website, was there any Twitter icon that you can go to? So you can just click from your website to go to those different social media platforms. True. I don't remember, but that's where I'm just sitting from there. So before we go to break, Greg is saying, it's just you, Ryan. Politicians are nothing if not pragmatic. They're absolutely run people in places in order to meet certain metrics rather than concern themselves with actually electing people of color and women in great numbers. Not an across-the-board thing, but it exists. Trust.
I concede. Sir,
I concede.
I can't. No, I know when, I made a statement to kind of try and play devil's advocate and push back, but I think, Greg, you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
We saw it live.
Yeah, I didn't do it this time. I let the audience speak. This is why we love our community and family. This is probably the most engaged live broadcast we've ever had.
Absolutely, so I'm so glad that it's
thank you. Like, we appreciate
a topic we usually don't talk about.
Yeah, and there's some new people. Thank you, new people. And again, if you want, subscribe to any of our channels so you get alerted when we do our Epic Conversations. We're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we will take a look at a liberal candidate. Ryan will get his crystal ball of candidates, and we'll see what the liberals have to say. So we're on the Morning Vibe live on August 30th. Keep it locked. We'll be back in just a minute. What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, and it is Black Canada Talking time. Black Canada Talking is a live online event that provides Black Canadians the opportunity to give their takes on stories, POVs that are of importance to them, or we showcase Black Canadians are doing their thing.
The real aspect of what goes on behind the walls or behind the fence is a totally different persona and a totally different picture.
There was just a big sense of relief when we finally got there.
We have to realize that everything we do is going to have an impact on probably a lot of people we don't even know.
One of the mandates of the CBC is to reflect Canada back to itself.
Not a lot of sustainable long-term movement that will affect economic change.
God bless, peace well, keep the faith, and walk good. What is up, everybody? You can catch me hosting Black Canada Talking every Sunday afternoon, 5 p.m. Eastern time, where Black Canadians give their chance to give their POVs and takes on international and national stories. And also, we also feature Black Canadians that are doing their thing in a positive nature. And we have some interesting things coming up on Black Canada Talking, as always. But there's something I'll give a little bit of a hint of Black Canada Talking is going to be doing coming up before we leave today. So we are back. We're doing our online election audit of random Black candidates.
So we had one from the Conservatives, one from NDP.
Who's next? Great time.
So last night I was part of the Greg Fergus Town Hall, and Aliba, that name, Muhammad, she's in Alberta. So I figured
Okay.
we haven't done one outside of Ontario.
Okay, let me.
Habiba, yeah.
Mahmoud.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's, as Marvin Gaye would say, let's see what's going on with.
And she's not an incumbent. So yeah, she's a new candidate.
Okay, Team Trudeau. So we're pulling, okay, website. Okay, now we're going to give the live online audit. Okay, got her on the screen. Here we go. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Meet. Okay, so we've got.
But right off the bat, do you see the difference? Because this is like a liberal templated website. Same with the NDP. But the difference in who you see first, with the liberal one, you're seeing the candidate. With the NDP one, you're seeing the leader. And I would have thought that liberals would, paste up Justin Trudeau just as much as the NDP would.
I think it's a smart move to highlight their candidates.
Right.
But this is where the interesting thing is. So if you go with Greg's line of thinking, people think of leader first, not candidate.
Okay, right. That's
so
true.
This is interesting. So, but let's take, so I don't mind the site. Now, the thing on my screen, the 20 vote is a little bit cut off. The September 20th vote would be, and that now, if you're a good web developer, you test your website on different screens to make sure the resolution's there, but not the end of the world. Okay, a little bit of a bio, support the campaign, connect. Let's go to Facebook. Okay, Facebook works. All right. Okay, sorry about that. We don't want now. Thank you. Open house. Okay. August 20. Okay, so let's go back.
But again, you're not seeing action shots of what she's doing in the community. Sure,
I think there may be some. Let me just see. Okay, liberals stand. So what I do like is I see a lot of post activity, and it's from her directly. Now, what I'm not seeing is, as you had mentioned on her Twitter feed, is what she's doing in the community. I don't see shots like there was for the NDP candidate. At least I think there were one or two shots her out in the field, so to speak. Okay, so here's something August 23rd, a picture of her with some people. August 22nd, so not too bad. But you know what? What's interesting is I don't see any entries before August 22nd. Well, that was election day, but so she's brand new. So I guess.
Yeah, that might have been when she was nominated.
Yeah. So understood. Not bad. I'd like I'd like to see more of her, what she's doing in the community, in the riding that she's in.
Yes. And especially the window to the election is very short. So right now, you have to put out a lot of activity because even the Instagram, I think there's only 10 posts. Like, if a person's going to be coming to your Instagram, they want to be engaged. If they're going to be coming to your Twitter, like Facebook, whatever, you have a short, condensed time to really hit it hard. Like, listen, this should be, well, and again, maybe some people are doing it part-time, but if you're serious about winning, back to what Greg was saying, there should be so much activity on your platforms right now, because literally the election is 21 days or 22 days away. Like, there's no run. Just, you have to attack like everything and put everything into it. But
I think especially if you're the Liberal Party and you're showing a dip in the polls, it'll be very interesting to see over the next 20 plus days what they're going to try and do to turn around. And I think even more so now, the spotlight's going to be on the Prime Minister during the debates. Now he's going to be fighting for his political life.
Absolutely, yes.
He's going to be like
It's
it's
good-
going to be the difference between him having a minority government or him like gone.
losing to a government. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So now Greg is saying here the face is the candidate, but the brand is the leader. You will always see the leader's name clearly on any part templated online source.
Hey, that's valid.
Party
But-
templated online source. I agree with that. That's
then what
that's
happens?
politics 801.
What happens when the brand is not good? In the West, I believe Alberta, Western, the Liberals got
No seat.
blanketed.
Yeah, they have
They
no
got
seats.
totally dismantled.
Yeah,
so
but they
maybe
well
that's
see
why.
but on the other hand, last federal election, Liberals won every riding in Toronto, the GTA.
You see that. So now that brand might not be working in a certain part of Canada. What do you do?
Yeah.
So now that's where that candidate needs to break through and figure out how to get back at least a couple pieces of the West.
Well, okay, but you know what it is, Ryan? The way the politics is right now, you are just looking to get the most amount of votes where you have the biggest opportunity. Liberals know that they're probably not going to get any votes in the West. What their power base has always been Toronto, somewhat Quebec, and the East. Now, for people who haven't been paying attention, a number of weeks ago there was a provincial election in Nova Scotia. Now, and the leader of the Liberal Party was only in for 6 months. He called an election. They got decimated.
Wow.
Yeah, now there were some Black Canadians that were brand new who got seats, but now it is a majority Conservative government in Nova Scotia. So, and one of the provincially, yes.
Okay. Whoa.
So, and one of the ladies who's a regular contributor on the Black Canada Talking, 5 p.m. every 2 weeks, I do a roundtable. Elle Jones, who lives in Nova Scotia, said she is wondering, is this part of a backlash, a white backlash against Trudeau?
Okay, hey,
because like said, because the East, the Liberals don't do too bad in the East, but when you see a provincial government gets totally overturned, that is not a good sign. And also, too, Ontario is going to be interesting because I was reading reports a few days ago that the premier of this province, Mr. Ford, has basically told his federal cabinet ministers, don't really do too much for the federal party this election, which is a really interesting dynamic. And also, too, Mr. Ford now, if people didn't hear over the weekend, it looks like we're going to get vaccine passports. And that's a 180-degree turn. So the interesting thing is, what would well, you know what? He's playing a good political game. So we won't touch too much time on Ontario politics, but I think Mr. Trudeau could learn some lessons maybe from Mr. Ford. But hey, politics makes strange bedfellows. Old time quote. But yes, this is quite crazy. Do you want to look at it? Okay.
Well, let's do a Green Party.
Okay. Well, and while you're looking that up, Greg's saying the things that happen in Nobleton and Bolton here in Ontario are clear evidence of a white backlash against the Liberal agenda. It's not just happening in Nobleton. Oh, I agree. It's, I really question, even before this was announced, why did Mr. Trudeau announce this election? And I'd ask him, I'd say, Mr. Trudeau, tell me it wasn't greed. You wanted to get a majority and you thought that this is the time everything was going fine. And you went, and I understand politically you're trying to get it thinking, okay, in a pandemic, we're doing a good job, but it may be a little bit of a miscalculation. George said we should have an overall strategy. Well, that's another conversation, the strategy for the election. Yes, but that's fully agreed. And as I think I said last week, if a candidate comes to your door, you want to ask a fun question, ask them, what is your agenda for Black Canadians? I'll leave it at that. Find a candidate.
Let's see. I see green. So not and Shante White.
Okay, can you spell her name?
CHANT.
Shante reminds me of a wonderful lady named Shante Moore, who was one of a great R&B singer back in the day who I met. Okay, Shante White. Okay, So, folks, if I'm spending a while, that means I'm not finding a website. So I'm trying. Okay, Green
I see
Party.
like articles about her, but not a website. Oh, and then there's LinkedIn.
I think this her.
Mhm.
Let me. Okay, yeah. Okay, there is a website. Okay, so I went Shantae White. Shantae. Let me get it correct with the accent over the e.
And again, so quickly, LinkedIn,
There we
it
go.
says that she's a candidate, but doesn't talk about anything about her. Okay, this is the website?
Yep. Well, so this is ShantaeWhite.com. I had to go through to the Green Party site first. Okay, so
Gotcha.
do we find out anything about her? Okay, about Shantae. Okay. Font is really small.
I know I need to like increase my own page here.
So folks, I'm looking off screen because I'm using two screens here. So I'm reading: the hurricane changed my life. My partner and I were vacationing in Mexico when a tropical storm turned into a hurricane, killing 70 people. We were as a daughter of two people who chose Canada to be their home, acutely aware of the event here in Canada. But it's not perfect. Build a society. I don't mind the site, but the font is way too small. Like you have to adjust the font size. So again, whoever's doing the website, you got to say what does it look like when people first look. And again, if you make it a readable size, the less people have to do, the more retention you're going to get.
The UX, the user experience is not. It's very lacking, and then on her LinkedIn, it talks that she used to work as an environmental auditor. That would be something to mention if you're running for the Green Party. Your expertise in environmental stuff,
and it's not in their website.
Right?
I don't think it is. I don't see it. No, it's not there. The Green Party, don't they believe in environmental stuff?
And that's probably why she leaned to that side. But yeah, there's no profile. Well, there's a profile picture, but no banner. It's like, people, we have 22 days left. There needs to be a full court press right now. Like, we didn't go to her social media, so the website needs UX design. It was good to see like her images, but now it's interesting. It's flipped. There is no images of or even mention of the leader. It's like, so is that a good strategic move to not?
Well, I think it is in a way that the leader is not represented writing.
But Greg just said the leader's the brand, so the leader has to be shown.
Yeah, that's true. They're taking an opposite approach. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so a few things. Good morning, Dream Legacy Foundation is part of the conversation. Opa is here. I'm running an independent in Scarborough Grand Rising. Opa, would love for you to come on the show. So if
leading up, we're going to be bringing on some candidates.
This platform is open for any politician who wants to come on. So I would say, Opa, if you want to give me your DM me via my Facebook page, or I can. Okay, so you can actually DM me. I'm going to give you my Instagram. You just DM me via my website. Yeah, I'm not my website. You can go to my website, contact with Dr. White, or you can go through my Facebook page and send me a direct message, and we can get you on here. Okay, so Greg is saying the Greens may not want to highlight their leader right now because there's so much internal conflict around her. That's what I'm saying, right? Right? Their campaign was doomed from the start, right?
Man, I don't know a lot about that whole controversy, but it still begs the question: how did that happen? Like,
so Dream Legacy Digital Adoption Program would probably help this candidate out big time. Can't wait for that program to hit. Shout out to Innovation Inclusion and ACBN. There we go.
And that's what we're talking. So in a way, that statement, and thank you, DLF, that might be EJ. Shout out to Mr. Holder. So now, what in the community, and especially business-wise, that knows about branding, knows about marketing, could these candidates be tapping into? Sure, ACBN is here. We have supports for business owners, but a candidate should have that hat on to say, I need to go get help with how to win this election. If, going back to what Greg said, if they're serious about winning, like tap into the resources. And again, just to have the conversation with the candidate to say, hey, we see what we've done this audit for you to see what you're showing up like online. This is where you need to fix. That's free. Like Empowered Forex will sit down with you for free. ACBN will sit down with you for free to say, how are you showing up? And then this is what you can do to fix it. And hey, maybe we can help you. We have some packages that we can sell.
But the thing is that has to go through the party, right? So this has to go through the party. They probably can't do it independently. They have to go through their party.
That's
so
again,
if
the party was serious, well, if the party was serious about getting this person to win, what resources are they giving to them?
Hey, as I say, the more I know, the less I understand.
Listen, I'm right beside you, because now like you would think, who's just checking out their website to say, is this something that appeals to anybody that lands on this page? Will this get me elected? That is the question. If I go to her LinkedIn, I should be thinking, will this get me elected if it's my LinkedIn? If I'm on my Instagram and I'm running, will this Instagram get me elected? This they have, and it should be a positive for them that it's a short runway, because the more work you do per day, the bigger impact it's going to have. It's not going to get diluted. You could really hit hard and make sure people know your message. But it seems, and maybe it's just me, Greg, you can let me know, but it seems all candidates are kind of, doing door knocking, but it seems very just, I don't see the hype. It's like, am I missing the hype of this election? I'm not seeing, like, maybe because there's no like in-person mega rallies that you don't get the energy of the crowd. And Trudeau used to do the big massive rallies, but something's missing. I don't know exactly what it is. But, oh snap! It's like 10 o'clock.
Well, I didn't.
I don't have to run, but no.
No, it's all right. Well, we'll wrap it up, because even though the tie isn't on, I know you're in demand. So the kids demand, right? We
should have done an independent one.
Okay. So let's. So Greg is saying any marketing and communication company that wants to corner the market as a branding expert for Black Canadian candidates could do it if they wanted to.
True.
Go after their business.
Absolutely.
Opa is saying, looking for your feedback on that very same issue. So Opa, again, I've shared with you via Facebook my email address. So please send me a message and we'll get you on. Danielle Dowdy, again, great to have you here, Danielle. The candidate that knocks the most doors wins. Social media websites are nice to have, but they don't get candidates elected.
She would know. Because Danielle's been in the political arena from, I think she said she was 16, helping people run campaigns. And I'm even in her class to learn more about politics and how to become a candidate. So that I agree with. But when you leave the door, that person is going to research you. And if you show up not as good as other candidates that come to that same door, I think that's going to sway their opinion. So yes, you can talk to a lot of people, but all candidates should be talking to a lot of people. So that research, it's vital.
So Real Django, who I believe is in Alabama and also is always on my state things with Aisha Jill on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Great supporter, saying do social media rallies. I think that's going to be needed.
Oh, you got to show us how to do that.
Greg is saying the Liberals didn't want to hype the election. They wanted to do one quietly and quickly so that they could grab a majority with minimal fuss. It smells like David Peterson in 1990 out here in the streets.
And that's exactly. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, is there more?
Liberal. Okay, that's the same thing. And Hope Day, we definitely will connect. Yes, after you leave the door, they go to your site. Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. They search you up and be like, okay, who's this person that gave me all these fluffy, nice feelings at the door, but I can't find them online or I don't
Or
see
it's
them actually
hard,
doing.
or it's difficult to find them online.
That's it. So remember, it's a competition. You can't expect you're the only person that's going to come to that person's door. So the competition lives online too. So you get to the door, you talk to them. They even agree to put a lawn sign on their lawn, and then they go to their website to find you online and say, okay, who is this person? And you're not showing up well. That is going to diminish the look and might not get them to the polls. Like, how do you get a person out to vote? Like, talking to them at the door is one thing. Danielle, you said this too. It's not all about getting a person's promise to vote for you. It's about getting them out their house and to the poll. And maybe there's mail-in now, but getting that ballot in.
Yes. Yep.
Is that's what wins.
That. Yeah. That's
right.
Well, I think that leads to hopefully you can have another conversation encouraging blacks to vote, because every vote counts. We're not talking about party. We're talking to the alleged democracy. And I say alleged democracy, right? Get it? Yeah. I guess the thing is, are you going to vote, and why should you vote? All those
and
things.
We'll put the call out. If anybody knows somebody at Operation Black Vote, we'd love to have them on. I think it's their mandate to get more black candidates and more black representation, not representation, but people to vote, more black residents out to vote. So
we're gonna start shutting it down, folks, because Ryan, even though he does have his tie on, he's a man in demand. So some closing comments for people here. Great conversation, gentlemen. I encourage folks to turn in and bring these ideas to Black Community Jam session tomorrow. They're holding that event.
Yes.
George is saying I'm also the president of the International Afro Society. Well, we need to get you on this platform, George.
Absolutely.
So contact me via the Facebook page. Send me a message. Danielle, that's a whole conversation on GOTV, Get Out the Vote. Danielle, would you be, actually, I'm going to ask Danielle, would you be comfortable coming on the platform and talking about that? If you are, please message the Dr. Vibe Show via Facebook. We'd love to have you on. Real Dangle, giving it a Black American perspective. Nowadays, candidates have to come to their audience with a bit of in-person and social media appearances. You really have to work hard for it. Put yourself out there. Exposure, exposure, exposure.
And you see, that's where the hybrid comes in. And you're talking about events have to move to hybrid. So full court press, like, do what you can in person and do what you can online, and you have to dominate.
And George is saying this can happen by careful planning and strategy. Well, I think the Liberal government was hoping that they had more strategy and planning ready to go than the other parties. But I think the other party, especially the Conservative Party, has met their match. It
was the worst kept secret, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You knew it was coming, so people were preparing.
Yeah.
And you didn't catch people off guard by calling the election.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Well, folks, epic conversation this morning. And this is, as I said, this is one of probably the highest live conversation attendance we've had ever. We have people from Canada. We have people from the United States. Oh, Ray Williams I missed your comment. I suspect that the current public response has likely shocked the Liberals. Absolutely, it shocked the Liberals.
Right.
And the thing is, what you're hearing more about the Liberals is the response and the heckling that the Prime Minister is getting more than anything else. So he has become it could either work for his positive or his negative. Because people may feel sorry for him and say, hey, this is an assault on what it is, liberalism or me getting help. And people say, is this a right-wing stuff that was reminiscent in the United States now happening in Canada?
Very true. Huh. So much dynamics, so much to unpack.
Right.
When's your workshop?
And Danielle, Greg is saying the Liberals failed to control the public narrative beforehand and are paying the price now. And ACBN, great points, Dr. Vibe and Ryan, they need to connect effectively through the other mediums. Well, hey, thank everyone who attended live today. A huge round of applause. You guys were outstanding. So that is it for the morning vibe today. Again, we could go on forever, but Ryan is in demand.
Right. Jeez.
Just a note here, you can catch replays of the Dr. Vibe, Morning Vibe of the Dr. Vibe Show, YouTube and Facebook, Afro-Caribbean Business Network, Facebook, and Ryan Knight, YouTube. Certainly reach out to us. Follow our platforms. whether it's Facebook and YouTube, so you'll get notified when we go on live next. We are on Monday and Friday mornings around 9 a.m. Eastern time. Now, a few things. Let me get the comments because I don't want to leave any comments unturned. Opa, yes, think that was not fully plugged into the streets. The echo chamber is not always the best team to listen to. Absolutely. Danielle is saying it'll be interesting to see what happens after Labor Day. Lots of people are still in vacation mode. Very true.
Absolutely, yes.
And Tim saying, "Where's the outro music, Ryan?" LOL. So that's obviously something between you and him. I ain't gonna get involved. All right. So again, you can catch scrolling on the bottom. This is where you can catch replays or us live. Friday will be interesting. I am scheduled to be traveling on Friday, so we may be doing a replay. I don't, and we'll keep you abreast. I will probably on Labor Day Monday not do it. Well, it depends. If Ryan's available, we can do something on Labor Day. I'll be in a different location. We could do it on Monday. If Ryan is up for it, I will be available. Friday morning is iffy. We'll see. Maybe a replay on Friday morning, but Monday, even though it's Labor Day, we can be in full effect if Ryan is up to it.
Solid.
Any last comments, Mr. Ryan?
No, listen, I enjoyed this conversation immensely. And again, this should be a comfortable conversation that we can have, seeing how we show up online to best represent not just a party, but the Black community. And let's keep talking and getting into the political space because they make decisions that affect us. So we should be talking amongst ourselves about it.
All right. So as I always do when we're leaving, I like to say, live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions and aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and the respect. And remember to give yourselves grace. Everyone, have a great week. Stay safe. And we will see you either live or replay on Friday morning. But please reach out to us. We would love to continue the conversation offline. Peace.